Hello, Internet. Hope everything's going well for everybody. Things are going pretty much okay for me. Nothing new to report, but I did want to make a video to address my previous video, which a number of you had commented on and rather rightfully called me out for my bad attitude. I want to assure everyone that while I was annoyed at the length of time that I spent waiting, I was not in any way accusing the hospital of mishandling me or failing to do their job. I acknowledged several times in the video that I did understand that they had other priorities, and I wasn't one of them, and that's okay. I get that. But the thing that I feel compelled to try to make people understand is that I hate hospitals. I fucking hate hospitals. I have been battling cancer for 4 years, and I have spent so much of that time in and out of hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices. I hate going with the fiery passion of 1,000 burning suns. I cannot underscore exactly how much I hate hospitals. Some of you may recall that after my surgery in late August of 2019, what was supposed to be a 4-week recovery was a 3-month recovery. And part of that is because I became septicemic, had to go back to the hospital twice, and nearly died. You kind of have to add to that the knowledge that as my condition worsens and eventually becomes untreatable, which will be like right at the very end of my life, that's where I'm going to have to be, is in a hospital. When I die, it will be in a hospital bed. I do consider myself a rather patient person. You have to be to do the job I do, working in a group home with the disabled, and before that I was a preschool teacher and other jobs that required me to practice a supreme amount of patience. And when it comes to something like that, it took 4 years for me to get to this point. It took a long time for me to reach my breaking point. Undergoing all of this. I didn't break during chemotherapy. I didn't break during radiation treatments. I didn't break during microwave ablations, which admittedly they weren't that bad. I don't know if I said this in a video at the time. I know I didn't make a lot of videos during my recovery from surgery, in part because I spent that time recovering from surgery. So I don't know if I said this specifically, but I think I finally hit my limit about the time they were putting a PICC line into my arm for the purposes of giving me these the treatments, the antibiotics for my septicemia. And I just stress cried. I was lying on the table and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I just broke down sobbing. And it lasted until they were like, I pretty much cried through the entire procedure. And I kind of feel bad because, you know, I think I made the doctors kind of worried. And even, like, I think even then I didn't understand why I was crying. I just was. And then I think I kind of figured it out even afterward when I was back in my hospital room with this PICC line in my arm. And I sat on the edge of my bed and there was this nurse there to, you know, make sure I got into bed okay. And I just sat on the edge of my bed and I just cried. And I couldn't stop. And I assured her that I was okay, or that I was going to be okay, that I wasn't physically, you know, in any discomfort. It was just like, that was when I figured out what was going on, was that I hit my limit. I pride myself on not hitting that limit very much. Like last week's paracentesis was really just It was just annoying. That's all it was. Normally, when I make a video about my procedures, you're catching me after the fact, when I've had time to sort of process what has happened and deal with it, and just kind of, any lingering frustration that I might feel, any lingering anxiety has dissipated. That video, you were seeing everything happen in real time. It was different for you as much as for me. For me to display that as it was happening. It was very much a heat in the moment kind of thing of just being frustrated with the situation. And then certainly afterwards, I calmed down. I let it go. It doesn't linger. Yeah, I was frustrated, and then it was over. And I hated being in that hospital for as long as I was. But ultimately, it wasn't that big a deal. So I want to assure everybody that it was all right. I was okay. Like, I wasn't flying off the handle in a rage or anything like that. I was just kind of annoyed. But other than that, like this past week, I was very tired for most of it. Very, very tired. I was exhausted Friday. I was in and out of bed all day Friday, just so tired. I had to take multiple naps throughout the day. That's my medication. My medication does that to me. And Saturday was a little bit better, but Saturday night I went to bed around 10:30. Woke up around 1:30 in the morning and could not fall back asleep, no matter what I tried. And I tried everything. I tried relaxing music, ASMR, white noise. I read a book, like, to see if that would make me sleepy. It didn't work. Around about 4 o'clock in the morning, I realized I can't. There's no way I'm going to get enough sleep to be functional at all. So I called out of work Sunday. Slept a lot. I finally got to sleep 7 a.m. on Sunday. Slept until 2 p.m. Got up, ate food, puttered around, went back to bed 4 o'clock, got up at 6, went to bed 10 o'clock. I got a reasonable amount of sleep, but I very quickly realized as it got closer and closer towards the time for me to go to work on Monday that I wasn't going to be able to do that either. So I called out again, I stayed home, and I slept. I got a text from my boss, and they wanted to know if I could speak with HR on Monday, this coming Monday, to go over my options. That's scary to me. Now, my boss assured me that this wasn't threatening in any way. And I know for a fact they can't fire me. I filled out FMLA paperwork for that express reason. No matter how many times I call out, they legally cannot fire me. However, there are, I'm sure, loopholes that they can take advantage of. And so I'm concerned. I brought that up to my boss, and later HR called me to assure me that this was not the case, that they were not going to come after me in any way, that they were simply going to go over what is available to me in terms of compensation that I would be able to utilize in the event that I simply can no longer continue to work, which is fair and also greatly appreciated. So I'll find out. I'm going Monday morning before work to the HR department, and I'll talk to them about, to see what they can do for me, if anything. I am getting concerned because I have completely run out of sick time for the year, which means if I call out, I don't get paid. And I foresee myself doing that quite a bit. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But it remains to be seen what will come of this. I don't know. I'm feeling better, more alert, better rested. I got a lot of sleep. I think it was Tuesday night into Wednesday. I slept 12 hours straight. And I needed it. I really needed it. And I woke up feeling pretty good. Definitely kind of, like I kind of flagged throughout the day, and I can feel it in my eyes. Like, even now, I close my eyes and I just don't want to open them again. Like that sort of scratchiness, and just heaviness. I feel heavy all the time. I feel tired all the time. It's not fun. It's not fun. But yeah, so that's been my week, and I ended up not going to my doctor's appointment. I had one on Thursday. I was too tired. I ended up taking a nap, so I got to reschedule that. I can't think of anything else. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So like before, I'm going to respond to some comments on my previous video. Got it here on my phone. So again, just scrolling through completely at random. I'm not picking favorites or anything like that. I tend not to plan this ahead of time. Joyce says, so sorry you had such a long day in the hospital. You were so polite and calm. My anxiety would have been through the roof. I love your voice. Keep feeling strong. I hope you feel a lot more comfortable now. Yes, I do feel more comfortable. Polite and calm. Polite, yes. Calm, no. It was all very under the surface. Like I said before, I wasn't about to fly into a rage or anything, but I definitely was not calm. And I did my best to maintain as polite a tone as possible, but I know that a few times it definitely came out like an edge to my voice, and I sounded pretty demanding, and I kind of feel bad about that now. So Mandy Shangalang says, you somehow give off cool undercover vampire vibes, Daniel. Thank you. I like that. I love your vlogs. I could listen to you read the ingredients on a can of soup and find it interesting. I hope today is being good to you. Be kind to yourself. That's that's really nice. I like that. I don't make it any secret that I like vampires. It's nice that you think that of me. I'm not finding it, but there was a post that I saw, and I did want to respond to it, but I'm not. I'm scrolling through here and I'm not seeing it, so I don't feel like I would do very good justice to responding, because I can't remember exactly what it said. But I know that it did criticize me for not listening to doctor's orders, like with driving home and wanting to leave early and so forth. And you're right. You rightfully called me out on that. I should not be encouraging, even just by example. I'm setting a bad example. I should not be encouraging people to disregard doctor's orders. They're there for a reason, and so I feel kind of trapped with it, though, because I don't like the idea of dragging a friend away from a day of work, which these are always during a work day. And so, all of my friends are busy working. It would just be such a hassle for them to do this on such a regular basis, because I do have to get these pretty much every 3 to 4 weeks now. And they can't use an Uber driver, which is also completely understandable. They don't want to put that kind of responsibility on a stranger. I feel like I can drive home. I feel fine doing that. But you're right that anything can happen, and I shouldn't be taking such risks. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I think for the foreseeable future, I will continue to drive myself, but just cautiously. And certainly if I feel anything change, I'll pull over, rest, maybe call somebody. And this is going to sound really hypocritical, do as I say, not as I do, but you really should listen to your doctors. You really should follow their orders and their advice. Christine Herbold says, secretly they punished you for being 15 minutes late. Yes, a long-ass day for sure. As always, sending light and love your way. That reminds me, there was another comment There's another comment that pointed out that I was being disrespectful to doctors and nurses by showing up late. You're absolutely right. I don't make a habit of it. When I said that I had been late before, I didn't mean to imply that I did it all the time. It was just I happened to be late that particular day, and there have been other times when I have, and those times, like, they didn't seem particularly bothered by that, and I ended up having to wait anyway, like once I got there. But yeah, I really do need to make a better effort of showing up on time to make sure that that's, that I'm consistent with that. And for that reason, they have other patients that they have to get to, and me showing up late forces them to reshuffle their entire schedule, and that's just disrespectful of me. So anyway, that is going to do it for today. Thank you for watching once again. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll let you know how things go on Monday. I think the earliest I'd be able to do that would be on the following Tuesday. I will try very hard to make sure that I get that video out as soon as possible, so just to keep you guys, up to date. But that's it for now. So until next time, take care.